We will return to the news videos after this one. Busyworks Beats made an apology video to me, and he's been too integral to the lore on this channel for me to not put this on the main channel. I do have a second channel though, it'll be linked in the description if you're not subscribed already. I just want to shout out Busyworks Beats. Big shout out for the apology. There's nothing more American. There's nothing more American than telling the goddamn truth. If there's one thing I hate people that aren't American, but I really hate people that don't tell the truth. So God bless you, Busy. God bless you. I'm still gonna do videos roasting you though, Busy.
All right, guys. So first I want to start off this video by saying I apologize to Weaver Beats. Yes, it sounds crazy. It sounds insane. It sounds like I've been taken over by some kind of other spirit.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna need to hear that again, bro. Do we have like a holy sound effect or something?
Guys, so first I want to start off this video by saying I apologize to Weaver Beats. Yes, it sounds crazy. It sounds insane. It sounds like I've been taken over by some kind of other spirit. But truthfully, what I mean is I apologize to Weaver Beats because I've held him in high critique. I've said things about him, calling him all types of things from a demon all the way to...
Wow, dude. He actually apologized for this. It took like 2.5 years. I wonder if he's doing this for like optics or if he genuinely means it. I'm not 100% certain.
In those moments of time, I was very convicted about my beliefs and I used factual evidence to back up my stance.
While I do appreciate the apology, he did not use factual evidence to back up his stance. I did a 45-minute video covering this before, which will be linked in the description. I recommend you checking it out. It's really good. He said things such as, I'm a demon.
I've been in a conflict with Curtis King using Weaver Beats because he's a little minion, a little demon.
Which is something you can't back up with evidence. He said he loves my kids more than me, which I hope to God you wouldn't back that up with evidence. And I only have one child.
I love Weaver Beats' children more than he does.
He said I'm destroying the black community and ruining lives. I honestly kind of don't know what he's talking about. Appreciate the apology though. Thanks. Now, I'm not playing these clips to instigate further. I'm just proving with evidence that he did not back up any of these ideas at the time with evidence. It would have just been better if he apologized and didn't try to justify slandering me 2 years ago.
Truthfully, I think Weaver Beats has some intent to actually protect the producer community. And for that, I got to honor him because from his heart, he's trying to defend against what we see as outside threats.
I would say partially. Yeah, partially. That's kind of what I do. I also, it's just entertainment at the end of the day. A lot of it's just entertainment. But yeah, you know, that's why I dropped the video exposing people not disclosing ads. That's why I post the videos exposing scams. It's because people should know about it here. Well, he's reached out to me before. He hasn't reached out to me with an apology, but doing it publicly, actually, I think is more powerful than doing it in private.
So everybody sees a different threat differently, okay? Or sees things as threats differently. But at first, I want to start this video off by saying I apologize to Weaver Beats. I've, you know, dragged his name through the mud multiple times. Now, was it the greatest response? No, and that's why I'm making this video. Does it mean that I agree with everything he puts out? No. I want to make a stance to say this. And to Curtis King, I apologize to Curtis King as well, because he believes as well that I've, you know, brought his name down and dragged it through the mud. Okay, so from everybody's perspective.
This is actually crazy, dude. What?
You know, everybody's attacking everybody. We all believe that we're coming from truth. I don't think anybody is doing stuff out of non-truth, meaning for their truth, okay? And that's what I had to realize is that somebody may have a contrarian opinion. It doesn't mean that it's negative. It's just different from my perspective. So let me try to step in.
Contrarian means you're like intentionally going against the grain, whether or not it's actually something correct or useful or anything. So I think he meant like opposing opinion.
In their shoes and see what they see. Now, if they're missing information, let me give them the information and they can rejudge that scenario. It doesn't mean it's my job, however, to convince people you know, to go with my point of view. Okay, so always understand as this producer community, as we see stuff budding out into the producer community, these conversations, just understand that everything does not have to be one point of view.
Well, I'm not actually just contrarian. I agree with people on a lot of things. It's just, I guess quite often my opinion is not the same opinion as other people's. That doesn't make me contrarian. Contrarian would be somebody always picking the opposite point of view for whatever reason, you know, just because they want to be contrarian. For instance, like the Sound Toys Space Blender 2, pretty sure everyone's on board. That seems like an amazing plugin. I said that too. Not contrarian.
The beauty of diversity is that we have differences. If everybody just thought the same, we'd just be doing the same thing. It wouldn't be a variety. Mm-hmm. So I want to start there because there's a lot of conversation around Bolo versus Weaver, and Weaver exposing OpenBeat AI and then Weaver exposing Sampla AI. So let me give you guys a little backstory, not too much backstory because I don't want to rehash the past in a negative way. I'm just giving this as a timestamp so you guys can comprehend where I'm coming from. Okay. So Weaver Beats, when he put out his video about OpenBeat and the content creators behind it, that was massive to everybody. Mm-hmm. And not because it exposed people.
Damn, bro, I didn't expect to get my dick sucked tonight. All right. I probably should have showered first.
And not because it exposed people or did this. It showed something that the people who made the videos didn't even know. And shout out to the people who helped Weaver Beats.
Okay, yeah, that was Fex. It was basically just Fex. Some other people on my Discord contributed a little here and there, but basically Fex really helped with finding the code on the website.
They found out that, you know, I think it was OpenBeat AI was using Suno under the hood, but they were saying that they were using something else, and it became this whole convoluted thing.
So just for a little correction here, just to make sure we're pretty much as close to accurate as possible. They said they were using ethical AI, and Suno is not an ethical AI. They were utilizing some sort of API that utilized Suno. And when you check the code on the website, you could see that it had Suno, the file names had Suno in it. So that was a smoking gun, basically, that they were utilizing something with Suno and it was not an ethical AI.
The consumers got deceived and the content creators got deceived. Mm-hmm. So when Weaver Beats made that initial video, they were addressing the deception. Okay, because there was true deception. Okay, it was deception to the consumer and deception to the content creators who believed that they were doing one thing, but they were doing something else. Nobody knew until those science geniuses went under the hood and looked at the actual code. So we didn't have that skill set to know that. So thank you for them.
Okay, well, it wasn't just them. Okay, it wasn't just them. We worked together as a team on this. I do think regardless, I also deserve credit for fucking going out there and taking the goddamn bullets. You think it's easy to like come out here and get fucking shot 1,000 times for exposing the truth? It really isn't.
That was critical because it changed the conversation. It made us really address audio companies and how they interface with music producers in our community. And that was a critical conversation because now we have to show these audio companies they can't just keep manipulating us to do what they want. That was actually better for the producer community, in my opinion, for Weaver to make that video because it took a stance as a community to show that just because these audio companies are offering money does not mean they're allowed to just push whatever in our community.
I don't think it's fair to put OpenBeat in the same category as companies such as UVI. AI companies are on average much sketchier than audio companies. That's part of the reason I was disappointed in Av and Bolo for promoting Sampla afterwards. It's OpenBeat rebranded basically with a few tweaks here and there, and they should not just be so willing to support stuff like that. It's bad.
So that was a pivotal video. Now, I think here's where the confusion came into play. Just my perspective. Okay, you guys can have counterpoints in the comments. I think the confusion came into play when a Bolo and an Av McCree got the information about the under the hood science of how OpenBeat AI was working. Now, once they have that science and that understanding, it's up to them if they want to push it further or if they want to work with that company further. All we asked as consumers was to bring us transparency. And once we had true transparency, that's all that company had to do to resolve the conflict. Conflict shouldn't stay a conflict. You know, if you have a conflict, your job is to resolve the conflict, not have a forever conflict. That's why I'm making this video with Weaver Beats. I'm not trying to have a forever conflict with Weaver Beats. We may disagree. We may have polar rising points of view. We may...
Honestly, on my end, there's no conflict. Not at this point. I don't hate him. Don't have malice towards 99% of these people. In Busy's case, I like reacting to his videos because they are really funny. Usually they're boring though, but sometimes they're really funny. And sometimes he has really bad takes too, but it's not really personal at all.
I may say that he's omitting facts, sometimes on purpose, sometimes just he doesn't know he's omitting facts.
I've loved everything he said so far. One thing I don't like that Busy's done when he talks about me, he says this kind of stuff and he never backs it up. If you think I've been lying about something, show me. I will gladly take accountability for it if I intentionally or unintentionally left something out, but he never does that. Whenever he says something like this, he does not back it up. And he's somebody that always talks about backing things up with fact or evidence, and he does not do it when it's about me for some reason. So like I would appreciate that, because it's not even that I'm like unwilling to admit I'm wrong.
It doesn't mean I want to destroy this person, okay? Because ultimately we serve different functions in the producer community. So the same with Curtis King. He may be omitting a ton of facts, maybe skewing a whole different narrative, but ultimately at the end of the day, if people are truly seeking truth, they'll seek both sides. So it doesn't matter what people truly say. And, you know, I have to forgive these people and apologize as well. So it's not just on them, it's on myself as well, because I participated in the back and forth. Okay. So that's why I'm apologizing. I don't want to be going back and forth in the frame of mudslinging. Now, if it's the frame of trying to find the truth of a matter, then yeah, people can go back and forth. Meaning, for example, there's a huge debate about AI music right now. And if it's ethical or not ethical. Now, I was willing to go live with the DJ Payne one. He declined at the time because he said fundamentally there's no debate.
He is right. There is no debate. If it's trained on other people's music without their consent, it's unethical. Conversation over.
Back in time when Weaver Beats made the initial video about OpenBeat AI, that was a pivotal video for the entire producer community, whether you were in the fire or whether you weren't in the fire. I think that was a huge pivotal point because, again, we all benefited because the audio companies see us differently now, in my opinion. And it made us aware of how...
I honestly wouldn't lump together all audio companies with these AI companies, because I don't want to say all these music AI companies are scammers, but they're the amount of them that are scammers versus the amount that are not is way higher than the rest of the audio space.
So I think that video had to be made. Now, the second video, personally speaking, from my personal opinion, that Weaver dropped about Sampla AI, I think he's trying to continue the battle against the producer community being, defected. However, when OpenBeat AI offered transparency, that was the solution to the conflict.
Did they really apologize? Like, where was OpenBeat's apology? Like, I guess they did post a video that had like text on it. They kind of like dodged around it a lot. But one issue I did have with that apology, first of all, they deleted it. If you're actually serious about your apology, leave it up forever. All right. Leave it up forever. Otherwise, it comes across as you trying to hide it under the rug after, you know. Prove that you're actually trying to be better and stay better. Imagine this. Okay, we're going to do metaphors right now because we're doing busy works beats. Imagine you're at a party and you spill a drink on everyone in the fucking party somehow because you are being a fucking piece of shit drunk asshole. Okay, when you apologize to everyone, do you say it loud enough for everyone to hear, or do you whisper it so only one or two people can hear you? You say it loud enough that everyone could hear you. You don't whisper it to the one person next to you. That's part of the issue I had with their response. Okay. And then the fact that they fucking deleted it after.
When OpenBeat AI offered transparency, that was the solution to the conflict. You know, once they offered transparency and let the people off the hook, when they apologized and said that these people didn't know we weren't using this under the hood and all this, that's all they had to do. So now moving forward, if they know of this information, we're not going to keep going to the past and saying, see what you did in the past. If you correct something, sorry, my Wi-Fi is like glitching.
Okay. Yeah. Like I said this before. I don't know why he's using Wi-Fi to record a fucking video. Bro, you're a channel with 1 million subs, dude. Connect it to your fucking computer, bro. It's so easy.
So long story short is, you know, think about the Bible, for example. I think it was Jesus.
Okay. All right, dude.
Forgive me, y'all. It's been a minute since I read this story. But he caught a woman committing adultery against her husband.
And he joined in.
Jesus caught them doing it. So basically the point was, like, moving forward, don't do that again.
He a freak, bro. He watched.
That was
he watched.
Don't do that again. Meaning, now that you're aware of something that's causing conflict in the community, don't continue to do the behavior, because now if you continue to do the behavior after you're aware, there's no longer this unconscious, oh, I didn't know what I was doing. It's a knowingness now.
Yes, I have no charitability toward the people behind OpenBeat or the people promoting it.
So the same thing with this producer community. I think Weaver thinks from that mindset is like, look, they were made aware that this company and this person behind the scenes, this business person operates one way. So if they continue to operate in that way, then they're open for consequence. But however, I think what he's missing is that we've gotten what we asked for, which is transparency.
The point is with Sampla is it's still really sketchy because they're using Marika, something that has been heavily accused of utilizing unethical AI. And it's also a Chinese company. So you pair those two things together. I don't think they give a fuck about American copyright. I don't have 100% proof it is unethical AI, but the chances of it being ethical AI are like near zero.
I think what he's missing is that we've gotten what we asked for, which is transparency. And
it's not just about transparency. The way in which OpenBeat deceived people was no mistake. They claimed their algorithm was trained by basically one person. Meanwhile, it was just Suno. That is a level of breaking trust which is not forgivable in my opinion. It's like continuing to do business with someone after they robbed you. Why would you still do business with them? How could you even trust them to do business with them?
Absolve these leaders from scrutiny of the audience because they didn't even know what they were pushing at that specific time.
But the reason why YouTubers deserve criticism, they don't seem to care about what they're pushing. After the first time they pushed a sketchy product without looking into it, you shouldn't be 1 to 2 months later working with the same person that fucked over a bunch of people. And also you should maybe be doing a little more due diligence when it comes to these companies.
There was a real reason they believed that stuff was ethical. It's because, Evan Groves, who runs Studio Linked, sold off an asset to InMusic. And we all thought because he was associated with InMusic that, oh, maybe they train this AI on all of.
Just because he sold it off to that company doesn't mean that they would somehow be involved. Selling something to a company does not mean you are potentially going to be like, that's not a close relationship.
If a person like that does a deal with InMusic, sells off their product, you would think they're in good standing with InMusic, and you would think that.
I'm going to be making comparisons because this guy loves comparisons. I sold a GoPro to someone on Facebook like a year and a half ago. Never talked to that guy ever since then. Why would you think that they have like a relationship? Even more so, why would you think they would work together to funnel tens of thousands of songs into this sketchy guy's product? That's an Olympic level reach. He worked for InMusic. You didn't say that. You said they sold it off to InMusic. Busy, do you have a reason to think that other people that were involved in OpenBeat or promoted OpenBeat, do you think they had a reason to think that? Like, did they know this? Did you reveal this in your like mastermind group or whatever?
So we're extending our trust because he's done a deal with InMusic, but we were all bamboozled behind the scenes, according to Weaver Beats' investigation on OpenBeat. So which required a lot of technical information. You need to go into the inspector tool into your browser and know code and all this stuff. The average person would not know how to do that. You would have to hire.
You don't really have to know code, but yeah.
Hire an investigator to find that out. So
while I agree, I don't think people needed all that to like have an idea that it was kind of sketchy. You know, there was a lot of information surrounding it that was obvious to just the layman. The fact that on the website it just says My Guy Mars and some other like a small team of people train this algorithm. Like I said, you didn't need to know the coding aspect of it in order to notice that's really fucking sketchy and most likely a lie. There's just a lot of common sense not being utilized by these people before they promote these products. And it's really fucking detrimental to this whole community. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bad look. It's a bad look that people aren't looking into this very much before they blast it out to their audience. You can't look into it a little bit. Not you in particular, but the people that were promoting these things. And even besides that point, they did not even have an AI training portion of the website until, what's his fucking name? He pointed out that they did not have a portion on their website that explained how it was trained. They didn't even, when these people took sponsorships for a company that was claiming to be ethically AI trained, they did not even have a fucking portion on their website that explained how it was ethically trained. It's not a matter of like you needed to know code. These people did not even look into it at all. If you're getting paid thousands of dollars, you should be asking questions.
You know, we all took accountability, including myself. I apologize for OpenBeat AI. Okay. Even though I wasn't like a main person, I didn't get paid for it.
This is wrong here. Not everyone took accountability here. You took more accountability than some of the people that got paid to promote it.
Now, whether you eat organic steak or not eat organic steak is up to you. But when somebody says one thing, but it's not that thing, that's deception. Okay. It's not about ethics of eating steak. It's about deception. And that's what, Weaver Beats brought up. And again, we're not here to beat up OpenBeat or, beat up OpenBeat AI. We're not here to beat
Okay, so like I think you're giving some people too much credit here. I honestly don't trust them at all. Like once you lie on that level, you can never be trusted again. That's the thing.
customers who claim they didn't get a refund. For people to report on people not getting a refund, you have to then go to that customer that said they never got a refund and show the email thread. My request to what people call investigative journalism.
Okay, so you're saying because I said that people claim they didn't get a refund, I should ask those people to, like, I'm allowed to say, like, I am allowed to be like, people have been saying this. Okay. Whether or not that's true or not, I'm just saying they said it. I'm not saying they 100% did not get refunds. There's a big difference between those two claims. Okay. I'm just saying they said that. There's a difference. Okay. Now, for instance, if I made a full video talking about how they didn't get refunds and didn't show anything, yeah, I would agree with that critique. But I think people should be allowed to say there's claims that people aren't getting refunds. Those are different things. So like saying there's 100% evidence that people are not getting refunds is not the same as saying so there's been some people saying that. You're asking for like a large amount of evidence for something that's just like an offhanded comment in a bigger video.
You need to show more receipts, because making allegations without receipts is the same thing.
It's not an allegation. That's not an allegation. Like I said, there's a difference between those two things. Okay.
And so Weaver Beats, I think this is a critique to him. This is not that I hate the man. I'm apologizing to him. I'm forgiving him in many reasons. One, feedback to him is that he needs to provide receipts. You can't go.
I provide receipts with like 99.9% of things, and that's just something like like I said, if I made a full video, I'm open to criticism. Like I do agree it would be better to show that. But the fact that the amount of people that were saying that, and I'd seen a lot of comments about it, I think it's worth mentioning, then especially if I mention in a way where I'm saying people have said this, that doesn't mean it's 100% true. And I'm not sure if I said this in that part of the video. One thing I think I could say, like as a disclaimer with that, is that people are saying this. You have to take it with a grain of salt, though, whether or not that's 100% true or accurate, though. But people are saying that, and for me, when it comes to allegations without evidence, I think the more people making the allegation, the more likely it's true. So, for instance, if I've gotten 50 comments of people saying they haven't gotten a refund, the chances of that being true are insanely high. Okay. Whereas if it's just one person, it's like, okay, I don't know, like I'm not as certain. It's possible to get evidence of that, but that's just a lot. That's a lot you're asking for a small offhanded comment in a bigger video. I do agree, especially if I were to be like, they definitely didn't get refunds and I don't provide any evidence. I mean, this is also true for you too. Okay, so in this video, another thing that you said is that you think I am mispresenting facts or like withholding. I don't remember exactly what you said, but you did not provide any evidence to that too. So you're like, you're doing the thing that you're saying that I shouldn't do. Omitted facts. Yes. Omitted facts. That was the wording. I'm open to criticism for sure. But sometimes I will like push back on it if I don't think you have a point. You've said this a lot of times. I've never seen proof of it. I mean, that's probably like the one instance. Like there might be a few other instances where I say something and there's no receipt or something for it, but I almost always provide receipts. Like I've purposely not done videos because there weren't enough receipts because I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about doing a video that could damage a company or a person or something if there's no receipt for it. I want to be on point if I'm doing some shit like that, So I do agree.
Moving forward to Sampla, you can't take that same argument over to Sampla saying they'll never provide refunds.
I don't think I said that. Did I say that? You should show, like, did I say that? You should show that clip. That's another thing you gotta do, Busy. If you're gonna make claims like this, provide the receipts. Like, it's okay. You can take my video and you can cut out that portion and put it in there right after that. It makes your point much stronger. I would be like, oh, I did say that. Maybe I shouldn't do that. It's okay to edit your videos, man. Like, your videos would be better. You would make more impact.
It's almost like when you put medicine in a brownie, but it's not
Oh, bro, okay, like, okay, I got a critique here for you, Busy. All right. This is a good faith critique. All right. You not everything needs a metaphor. Like, I think 99.99% of people, I would estimate, trust me, bro, understood what you said there already. We don't need a fucking metaphor about putting medicine into brownies.
what has actually been promoted. Then we can align the whole thing as a group and say, okay, here's how we can now make a more prudent decision instead of people just going on witch hunts, which I think
Okay.
I think he doesn't understand that this is how it appears he's going about the Sampla video against Bolo and all these people. To us, it looks like he's just going on a witch hunt.
I don't really see how this is a witch hunt. Can anybody explain to me how this is a witch hunt?
What's the deception here?
Point is that they didn't disclose their OpenBeat. They are OpenBeat, the same shady platform. People need to know that. This is the same shady platform with a new disguise, and people should be aware of that. What is 99.9% likely unethical AI, again, and they're lying about it. So I'm exposing the same platform, basically.
They already came clean about OpenBeat AI that it had parts of Suno in it. So now that they came clean, we know what we're buying now.
They didn't tell everyone they're OpenBeat AI, though. They also told people it was ethical AI on their website. There's actually, I mean, it may not have been as hard hitting as the OpenBeat video, but it was an important video to make.
We know what we're buying now. They're not promoting it as organic steak.
No, they are promoting it as ethical AI, bro. See, you're just wrong here with some of this stuff.
They came clean. We know what we're buying now. They're not promoting it as organic steak.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are, dude. Ethical AI commitment. So you're just wrong here. Our platform is built with a strong commitment to ethical AI practices, transparency, and creator safety. Like, so this is just wrong. I don't know why you're like talking about like me not providing receipts and stuff like that, but this was some easy research right here. Like, did they tell you they weren't promoting it as ethical AI and you just believe that? Because once again, they lied to your fucking face. That's the crazy part. Like, these dudes keep getting lied to over and over again and keep believing it.
Now Weaver Beats claims now he's questioning Marika, which that wasn't in question before.
Marika is what they're utilizing on their platform.
So basically, I guess what I'm saying is his argument didn't have as much of a firm stance this time around. So now it just looks like he's just going after character. Okay, which is up to him if he wants to do.
I mean, yeah, I am going after the character, them lying about it.
What's the major scandal here? If somebody's being transparent saying that
it's the same scandal, it's basically the same fucking scandal. That's the point. They're doing the same shit and people are still promoting it.
They're using all these models behind the scenes. What's like, if you guys understand digital business, maybe people just don't understand digital businesses.
The rest of this video isn't worth putting in here, in my opinion, so I'll summarize it for you. He says a lot of these online businesses use APIs, which is basically what Sampla was doing and OpenBeat. They are just selling you Marika with a disguise on and charging you more money for it. Whether that is normalized or not doesn't really matter. It's still a shitty business model. It's equivalent to selling someone else's drum samples in a drum pack and then charging more money for your version of it, which is unaltered. He also compares the views of YouTube producers versus audio companies for some reason and how we outperform them, which is not a surprise because these audio companies have no personality. They don't upload as often, so people won't be watching them unless they release a new interesting product, and usually the views die down pretty quickly after that. That's about it. Another video from Busy that is way too long, and ironically it forced my video reacting to also be long. So my apologies for that. Hopefully it was entertaining. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe. My next video will be a news video, I promise. We got a lot of stuff to catch up on. If you want to support the channel, there are affiliate links in the description. I get a kickback at no extra cost to you. Great way to support. There's a Patreon. I have a new song coming out that's linked down there. I'll see you guys next time.